All right, I'd like to start off first and foremost by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachach. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule to teach well. Peace, love, and salutations to those who are pushing this word in truth and sincerity. This is your brother Nathaniel from GMS Atlanta coming back into the spirit with another lesson. I pray I hope this lesson is edifying. Now, this is my second time doing this lesson because Satan, the very first time, there was a copyright claim that was placed on the actual material. And even though the Fair Use Act states that I can use the material for educational purposes, YouTube immediately puts a copyright claim on anything that actually promotes the truth of our people, okay, and what we're going through in this nation according to the Bible. All right, so they immediately threw a copyright claim on there, but it turns out that when I reviewed the copyright claim and I reviewed the video, there was an audio distortion in the video as well, so it made it to where I had to do the video again anyway. But only this time I'm going to post this fair use clause into the descriptions in hopes that they won't take the video down. Okay, now this video, now moving on, this video is in regard to this TikTok that I found by, it's on Vlad TV, okay? And Godfrey addresses DJ Vlad's tweet about white folks and how they hate black people, and they do. They hate the so-called black man. They hate everything about us. And he's going to go into a bunch of different things. And as he's going through these things, I'm going to bring out precepts to show that, yeah, they're doing exactly what the scriptures say that these people were going to do to our people. Okay, exactly what. And the thing is that when you're pointing out the truth about, okay, the parallels between the Holy Scriptures of what the scriptures say was going to be happening to his people in these times, and you point it out, they take it down because their people don't want to identify with the people that are oppressing the children of Israel. They don't want to identify with that. They want to be everything else but the oppressor of the children of Israel. You see? But in all reality, y'all are the oppressors. Okay? So I'm going to start off with this, and then we're going to go into this video. This is Jeremiah 50:33. It says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all they that took them captives held them fast and refused to let them go." And in this video, he's going to start going over how they hate us. They want to profit from us, but they don't want us to have our own thing. Now, he says this in a video, and then he starts going over all of the black inventors and all of that stuff, you know, and his words for some reason are copywritten. These are words of an expression of a so-called black man about how his people are being oppressed, and for some reason Vlad TV owns the rights to the words that were spoke of this man. This is copywritten material. This is the most asinine shit ever, but it's all just a ploy to stop the information to get out. And honestly, I'm tired of YouTube, man, you know, and your censorship and how you censor, like you'll have straight pornography on YouTube, straight porn, naked women on YouTube, and you can find this stuff, all type of debaucherous and evil stuff. But you start going over how the children of Israel are suffering in Babylon for the Bible, and that gets every type of scrutiny and copywritten and ghosting and all that shit. And, you know, and I pray through the spirit and power of the Lord that the Lord do something to y'all people behind YouTube, man, that are doing this, that are trying to stifle the word. But ultimately, you can't do anything for the truth against the truth before the truth, all right? So again, I'm going to go through this. Jeremiah 50:30 says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, the southern and the northern kingdom." So you got the northern kingdom, the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and then you got the northern kingdom. You got Issachar, you got Ephraim, you got Manasseh, you got Gad, you got Reuben. You know, you got the northern kingdom, you know, and we're being oppressed together. You know, the so-called Mexicans being oppressed, okay, so-called Haitian, right, the so-called Jamaican, so-called black man, okay, all right, the so-called Cuban, all right, and so on and so forth. The northern kingdom nations are being oppressed as well in America. Look what they're doing with immigration. Look what they did with the Native Americans, right, in the West Indies. Look what they did. Look what they did to our people, okay, over here, right? So we're being oppressed together over here. And guess what? They refuse to let us go because they profit off of us. They don't want us going out. They don't want to leave us to our own devices, because we'll start all of that innovation and all of that athleticism. We'll start going toward to benefit our own society, and they can't have that shit, because if, like Vlad says in the video, if they lose us, then their nation is bankrupt, because we're the ones that keep everything going. So without further ado, I'm gonna play this TikTok, and this is fair use, okay? Fair use, section 107 of the Copyright Act states that I can use this for such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research, okay? And that's exactly what this is. This is an example of criticism and education, all right? For you YouTube algorithms, all right?
But for the people that built the country to make you that fucking money,
Yeah.
you understand? You know, all of a sudden now you worried about being bankrupt when you spend trillions of dollars on defense, trillions of dollars on unnecessary bullshit, trillions of dollars to send black men, especially to jail, trillions of dollars to drug the fuck up our whole country, trillions of dollars to fuck the food up, to fuck the air up, to fuck the water up, trillions of dollars to make people sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker in this country. But you mad? We don't have the money because, and this is what I think, and this is what I believe, you just don't like black people. Plain and motherfucking simple.
And that's the truth. That is the truth. They hate our people. Period. They hate our people, man. They just hate our people. They hate us. You know, I just did a video about a young Nigerian dude that had just went into Malaysia, right? And he was rejected. They wouldn't even let him into the country because of him being black. Now, what did black people ever do? So-called black people ever do to Malaysian people, right? Because we are under a curse that the Heavenly Father put upon our people to be hated everywhere we go in the world. Okay? But you can't bring this out on YouTube, because if you do, if you try to educate your people on why we're hated the way we are, they block it, because they don't want you to know who you are as a people. Okay? They don't want you to know.
Do not like black people. It is very obvious. For hundreds of years, we've been the most hated. The most hated. But within that hatred comes the hypocrisy of loving our culture. You've made trillions off of our motherfucking culture. You know that. You've made money off our culture. Let's be real. 100%. You made money off our culture. White musicians, all of them have made money off of black fucking culture. All of rock, all of jazz, motherfuckers, all the shit we created from the oppression, which is fucked up in itself.
Right? And that's exactly right. This is you know, I'm gonna get that in just a second. This is okay. All right, this is Micah 2:2. Let me pull up a fresh page. This is Micah 2:2. And it says, I'm starting at verse 1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their bed. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. They covet fields and take them by violence, and horses and take them away, so that they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage." Like he was just going through. They take our music, right? They take our style. They take our innovation, right? They capitalize on our culture, on our heritage, right? And then they don't give us anything in return. Going back to and they oppress us, all right? And then when you go to Let's see. I had it up here just a second ago. So this is Wisdom of Solomon. I don't know what happened. I had it up. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5:1, and it says, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of him that have afflicted him," and that's what we're doing now, "and made no account of his labor." You see that? Because again, they stole everything, right? They stole everything, and they made no account for the labor of the people that actually made it, that created these things. You stole everything, and he's going to start going into that. And you don't want to give us no credit for nothing, but then you want to let us go because we are your pocketbook. Our people is what keep this economy going, okay? You're nothing but a bunch of thieves and robber barons, and your history shows this stuff. And then you don't want the truth to come out because when the truth comes out, it reveals you for who you are, so you want to censor it, like putting copyright claims on stuff, for no reason.
The oppression and the fucking abuse and the rape and the putting down of us, we create blues, jazz, rock and roll, reggae, ska. We invent all of that shit. And to top it off, we invent all the modern shit that you all use. From the video game cartridge, Henry Lawson, huh? We got the pacemaker, Otis Boykin. We have the late Dr. Bath, who created the laser eye surgery. We have Dr. Gladys, who's still alive, who's almost 80 years old, who created GPS. We have the guy who created the algorithm for Instagram, who's a 21-year-old Ghanaian kid. We've done all this shit. Then the internet was discovered by a Nigerian guy in the 80s. Like, we've done all of this innovation, even though we've been shit on. And continue to be shit on every motherfucking day, right? Because nobody wants us to live anywhere. Nobody wants us to have this unless we're playing sports for them. Like I said, unless we're academically, right? No, I'm sorry, athletically or sexually satisfying motherfuckers. That's all black people are good for. We're supposed to be at people's beck and fucking call when they want us to entertain them or make them some kind of money. But if we ask for being autonomously wealthy on our own, being autonomously having our own shit, all of a sudden everybody pitches a bitch. Everybody has a fucking hissy fit. People get mad when you don't want us in your neighborhood. You don't want us in your schools. You don't want us doing anything. But then when we say, hey, okay, that's cool, because Muhammad Ali said in the 60s, he said, hey man, I think we should have our own state. I don't want to live amongst you motherfuckers. They were like, well, why not? You don't want us around. You're segregating everything. And then as soon as we want to go, white people start panicking. White people panic. But, we don't want to be around you, so you can call us niggas, and we're tired of white cops shooting us. We're tired of this pissing contest that these white cops have because they're afraid of black dicks for some fucking reason, because most of this shit is black dick envy. We're tired of that shit. So what about this? Why don't we just give us what you owe us, and we can go on and do our own shit?
Right. Well, see, the thing is that what they owe us is okay. So when you go to Numbers, right? You go to Numbers 35 and 33, and it says, "You should not pollute the land wherein you are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it." So, in order for us to really to really get our comeuppance, blood got to be shed. And when you go into the book of Thessalonians, right? Thessalonians 2 and 6, and it says, saying that it's a righteous thing with Yahweh to recompense tribulation, hard times, hell to them that trouble you. So we need to get what we need to do them how they did us. This ain't well, we just want to have our own shit. No, we've had our own shit. We've had Black Wall Street and they burned it down to the ground. We had Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and they burned it down to the ground. We had Lake Lanier. We had cities flooding and stuff like that. We had all of these different things where we had our own stuff. And when they seen how quickly and how efficiently black people started to come together and build their own government and build things and create things, they quickly seen how fast we would surpass them and we became a threat to them. So they couldn't allow that to flourish. So no, they can't allow it. This is why over in Africa, they keep destabilizing Africa, because they don't want the dark nations to come into a position to where they have power. Because these so-called white people understand that they are inferior. And they cannot survive unless we are the ones that are in their system building things. Okay? And they ain't gonna never want to admit it. But the facts that he just mentioned, he said all of the things that they enjoy. You know, our people created, and you can say, well, you know, we have five. No, the foundation of the internet was created by a so-called black man. Okay? It was created by him, and everything was built upon that foundation. 1G, 2G, 5G, 4G, 5G, all that stuff was built upon that foundation, that innovation that was created. And do you think that if we were left to our own devices, do you think that we could have took that internet and created something so much more better and much more phenomenal than what we have now? Absolutely. Something that's not even deadly. Something that the RMF waves don't harm you, you know? And we still have access to this stuff, you know? But they don't want us to do that. But see, so-called black people, what y'all want is reparations, right? Y'all want reparations. Y'all want this devil to pay y'all. No, y'all don't want righteous judgment. Righteous judgment is to do them how they did us. And this is what they're most afraid of, being done how we've been done. And that's what I want. That's true reparations. You know, we sit here struggling day by day to feed our children. They're poisoning our food, poisoning our water, poisoning the air. They're putting out propaganda to destroy the minds of our women and our children. You know, systematic abortion within our communities. You know, gun violence and drugs that have been proven to be implanted. The inception of it was implanted in our neighborhoods by the CIA. Understanding that the music that they've used, that they went in and they warped the music that we hear today to feed the prison industrial complex so they can make more money. Every single facet of every industry in this country is surrounded by our people being in subjection to their people. But then they don't want to take responsibility for it. And that's why videos like this get taken down quickly. Okay? Because YouTube does not want the truth about these people getting out. This is why TikTok is so big, because there's very little censorship on TikTok. You know, these devils want to censor you because they have a shameful history and they don't want their history coming out. Because you've lied to the world about who you are, but you're nothing but a cesspool of death and robbery and murder. You know, this country, America, has since its inception only experienced 12 years of peace. Since it's been established, over 200-some-year history. But then you want to censor my words. You know? Damn devil, man. This is Revelation 13:10. We start at verse 9. It says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Who was the one that put our people in captivity? Who was the one that killed all the Native Americans? Who did that? Who is the one that still oppressed our people to this very day? Who does that? Who passed laws contrary to the behavior of black people so that they can have a reason to lock us up? Who does that? Who studies our culture and our behavior so they can find reasons to oppress us, find ways to oppress us more efficiently? Who does that? And like he said, our people are tired of that shit, man. Okay, but that's because we're at the end of your rulership. That's why. Your rulership is coming to a head. That's why we are getting tired of it. Okay, because the Lord, for the most part, is waking the people of his, waking the minds of the people that can receive his spirit up to the wickedness of this place. But you know, most of Jake ain't getting it. Verse 10, it says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience of the face of the saints. That's true reparations, man. It's to do you like you did us. Okay? Those are true reparations, to do you as you have done our people. Okay? But y'all don't want to hear that. The reason why y'all don't want to hear that is because you don't want to pay for your crimes. Okay? When you go to a restaurant and you get served a meal, you're able to eat your meal, drink your drink, and enjoy all that. And at the end, guess what you get? You get a bill, right? And you gotta pay the bill. Well, you've had an opportunity for hundreds of years to oppress, rape, rob, and murder and mange and destroy entire nations, especially the nation of Israel, moreover than anything else. And now it's time for you to pay the bill. Now it's time for you to pay the cost. But you don't want to pay the cost, okay? Because honestly, it's too much for you to bear. But you're going to bear it. You're going to drink of that cup. Damn devil.
But no, they don't want that. White folks especially hate autonomous black happiness. They do not like when we are by ourselves doing our own shit. They cannot stand that shit. They don't even like us in a group. Like in Chicago, there used to be a thing. If you were 5 or more black guys on the corner, the police break it up. It's called mob action. It's like what's
and now they call it loitering. Okay? That whole, as I said before, they model black behavior. They observe black behavior and they pass laws contrary to that behavior so they can have a reason to oppress us even more.
What's going on here? If you're at work and you're a black employee and you're talking to another black employee, the white boss goes, "Hey, what's going on over there?" You know what I mean? I went to a very white university, and then when the black students hung out with each other, the white students would be like, "Oh, you guys hang out. You don't mix with us." I go, "Are you fucking kidding me right now, you delusional clown? It's 45,000 white students and 800 black. Who the fuck you think I'm gonna hang out with?" They would do shit like this. Anytime they see us get together in any kind of way, we could be at a cafe and black people could just be drinking coffee, laughing. All of a sudden, white people are like, "Oh boy, Negro, so loud. Excuse me, can we turn down this Negro sound?" You know, it's like fucked up. Like anytime we have our own shit, whites always gotta have their hand in our shit. They always gotta be part of it. It would bankrupt the whole country.
You see that? They always gotta have their hand in it. You know? Whatever a so-called black man creates, whatever they create, okay? The so-called white man gotta come steal it. Okay? But hey, these are all part of the curses that are listed in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Okay? But soon it's going to be over with for them. Let's see, what else did I have? I think that was all the precepts. Yeah, I think that was all the precepts that I had. But, yeah, I'm going to finish with Micah. I'm going to continue on to verse 3. It says, "Therefore, thus saith the Lord power. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I am against this family do I devise an evil, from which you will not remove your necks, neither shall you go haughty, for this time is evil." Okay? And in that day shall one take up a parable against you, and a lamentation and a doleful lamentation, and say, "We are utterly spoiled. He hath changed the portion of my people. How hath he removed it from me, turning away he that hath divided our fields." You see that? So yeah. So you've taken everything that we've had, you've oppressed us through violence. Oh, you know what? Salakia. Yeah. You've taken you've oppressed us through violence, right? And now it's time for you to get your recompense, man. That's all it is. All right. So again, this is fair use copyright. I am posting this video for educational purposes only, for criticism. Okay. So with that, I'm gonna end it off by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakal Kadash. Double honors to the elder, the apostle, great millstone. To the next time, I say shalom.